Hi, everybody. I'm Kathy Andrews, Executive Director of the Blue Ridge Environmental Defense League. I'm here because I think building this facility in Person County is wrong, against the will of the people. This Dominion Energy plant was passed and moved forward against the will of people in Person County, as indicated by the last hearing. This is wrong any way you look at it. This is a dangerous plant that will destroy property, decrease the value of property. It will decrease property values. And again, it will increase utility bills for the people who live around there. And why? Why build a facility, a dangerous gas facility in a community when people don't want it? And why not have another hearing in Person County and listen to the people again? Because over 200 people spoke at the last hearing, and they do not want this plant in their community. The only thing I can think of is greed, because there is no desperate need for this plant. Greed. The people have spoken. Over 200 people said no to this plant. They got out of their beds, they went to the podium at the last hearing, said no. And then the commissioners just said, okay, let's approve it. Why? That's what the people of Person County want to know. Why? What's the big rush? Have another hearing in Person County, and this time, listen to the people. Thank you.
My name is Lou Zeller. I'm with the Blue Ridge Environmental Defense League, and I want to provide comments to the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality, Division of Air Quality, on the draft permit for Moriah Energy Center, which would be located in Rougemont, North Carolina, which is in Person County. I ask that the permit be denied. I have general and specific comments to offer. General comment is that, as we hear on the news today, almost every day, the Western United States is engulfed in forest fires of almost biblical proportions. One example is the Park Fire in California, which has already devastated an area approaching 400,000 acres and is only 18% contained. And the trend is moving from bad to worse. The state reports wildfire activity in 2024 is 2,816% greater than last year. Nationwide, the picture is similar. There are 102 large, active wildfires today, August the 1st, which have already burned up 2,033,289 acres. This is about climate change, of course. Recently, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres urged world leaders in no uncertain terms that we must find a, quote, exit ramp off the highway to climate hell, end quote. He pointed a finger at the world's fossil fuel corporations as, quote, the godfathers of climate chaos. Guterres hit the nail on the head. Dominion Energy, North Carolina, is one of those godfathers, a principal driver of the worldwide climate crisis, which now seeks a permit from DEQ to add more greenhouse gas to the atmosphere. For this reason alone, DEQ should deny the permit. I'll go into some of the specific comments right here. Plan to submit additional written comments before the deadline. The DEQ's public notice states that Moriah Energy Center has applied for a new synthetic miner permit for liquid natural gas storage facility, a synthetic miner permit. Further, the notice states that after its review, quote, the results of that review, that's the DAQ, led to the preliminary determination that the project could be approved and Division of Air Quality permit could be issued if certain permit conditions were met. The application review by DAQ says that purpose of the application is Public Service Company of North Carolina, Incorporated, a South Carolina business doing business as Dominion Energy, North Carolina, submitted a permit application for the construction and operation of a liquid natural gas storage facility. Storage facility Moriah Energy Center would liquefy natural gas during periods of excess capacity and convert it back to natural gas during high demand periods. This is all from the Division of Air Quality's application review. Every step of that process would consume energy. There's burning of natural gas to run these operations. In fact, 19 air pollution emission sources are to be constructed and permitted. Air permit regulations contemplate so-called major sources and minor sources, depending on the volume of pollution emitted. Easy enough to understand. But synthetic miners are an attempt by industry and permit agencies to have a truly major source be treated like a minor source. Synthetic miners are loopholes created to avoid certain regulatory requirements. The permit, as drafted, cannot and does not protect air quality as it is required under the law. It is like crossing your fingers when you make a promise. There are 19 more reasons to deny this permit. I ask that the Division of Air Quality recommend denial of this permit. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today.
The letter I submitted had to do with recent temperature measurements by the European Monitoring Agency, which showed new records being set. And so the point I wanted to make is that, given the state of our climate situation, we really need to start, obviously, to be migrating away from fossil fuels. And unfortunately, I feel like the Moriah Center is just another small step towards continuing the usage of fossil fuels. I don't think the project is critical. And I think it just, again, is another step towards continuing to use, continuing our dependency on fossil fuels when we need to be, moving away from that. And basically just made the case to the, people making the decision that, leadership depends on making those hard decisions. And this is an opportunity for them to be leaders and make the hard decision to not approve this project so that we can start the long road migrating off of fossil fuels.
If I could talk to them in person, I would ask that they, in their permitting process, please do what is in the best interest of the people and not ignore what the people are asking them in terms of this permitting of this new facility, because it's detrimental to the people. And given the projects or facilities or industries that are in their area that are not promoting clean air, which also, if it was clean, would impact the health of the people in a positive way, please stop permitting these industries that are destroying these communities. You have the data. You have the plea of the people. Please do the right thing.